everybody? Darren Pilcher here. Welcome to the Leadership Conversation. And we're going to have a lot of conversations. We're going to start with today. Adam Starling, the pastor of Victory Family Church, an explosively growing church in Norman, Oklahoma, with many campuses abroad. It's just a real privilege to have a conversation with you, Adam. Adam and Christy, let me just say this about these guys. I've loved these people for a very long time. And I just want to know, Adam, hey, man, how's the family? And are you tired of hearing about COVID-19 yet?
Yes. Well, we'll talk family. Yeah, they're great. The family season's been really cool. I feel like as a pastor, I'm busier than I've ever been in many ways, but my kids are less busy than they've ever been, which has been really cool because it's given me opportunity. We eat family dinners together every night and go on family walks, and so the family's been really, really good through this. But I'm certainly tired.
Are you cooking or is Christy cooking?
Man, you don't need to ask that. You know the answer. I keep saying
I bet it's good if she's cooking.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, she does a good job. So, yeah, family's good, but yeah, I'm certainly tired of hearing about the COVID. But it seems like the last few days or week, it seems like the news is getting better and better. So that's really positive.
Super encouraging. So, hey, listen, this is the new office attire. Probably you didn't really care about office attire anyway, but what shoes are you wearing right now?
Yeah, so this is new office attire for me and old office attire. So that did not shift. A lot of things have shifted. That did not. Man, I got my Brooks running shoes. I just turned 38.
Okay.
So man, I'm just trying to figure out shoes that don't hurt my back anymore. So
I got you. Is this offensive right here?
No,
the old Uggs house flipper.
If you're wearing the Uggs house, that's high society right there.
So, dude, let's jump in. Ed Stetzer, he talked about recently in one of his video posts that the first step in dealing with this COVID was to pause and pivot. So how did you pause and pivot? What did that mean for you coming in on this whole crazy season?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's difficult, I think, to pause in the midst of a panic, right? And so I think it took us a few days, and then we just stepped back and did exactly that. And so for us, I think when we paused, we really just said our why is not going to change, our core values do not change, our mission statement changed. So and it's the old, everybody said this for centuries, probably, I don't know, that you marry the message, not the method. And so for us, it's like, man, our why is not going to change at all. But let's change the methods dramatically. And so for us, the very first question that we had was, what are the needs and how can we meet them? And so there's three different components for us. The first was obviously a spiritual component. I think as we're speaking today, I don't know when people will see us, as we're speaking this today, 13% of Americans have lost their jobs. People are now, it's 20 something million. It's crazy.
Which is the saddest news probably of all, or at least the top 5 parts that are just crazy right now for everybody.
So yeah, people in our church have lost their jobs. Lady in our church lost her husband to the coronavirus. And so here in our community, I think there's 300 cases and maybe around 35 deaths so far. But we started thinking, okay, what are some spiritual needs? Everybody's fearful. Everybody's nervous. They're now isolated. And so we went from the spiritual component. We went just like an overload with content. And so like right now we do normal Sundays. Well, I'll talk about that in a little bit, but Sundays aren't normal, but we do a Sunday worship experience, but then we're doing 2 or 3 worship nights outside of that every week. And some of those things have been great. We did a family communion where, moms and dads are leading their children in communion together, really for the first time ever in their homes. So we've done worship, we've done Bible studies, we're doing communion. And so really try to look at, and how can we help bring hope and peace and even a little bit of stability into people's living rooms. And so that was one need that we immediately and we feel like every other pastor watching this, that's kind of we hope is our wheelhouse. But then we wanted to say, okay, the second component, what are the community needs? And so immediately we did a big mailer and put on social media. If you need help shopping, let us shop for you. So just because it's a weird thing when you're isolated, it's harder to meet people's needs. And so it's like we know how to do that 3 months ago, but now it's so much more difficult. And then we started buying gift cards for people that have lost their jobs. So I think we did, I don't know, like $250 gift cards for families. No, $50 to $100 gift cards for families that just needed Walmart gift cards to buy groceries. Then we did a blood drive. We found a supplier of masks, those KN95 masks. And so really we're just trying to figure out, okay, what are some of the needs of the community that are outside of our normal realm of ministry and outreach.
Super practical.
And then so let's just try to meet those needs and meet them as fast as humanly possible, which also really engaged our people in a continued purpose. Nobody's interested in helping your church pay the bills. I mean, it would be cool if they were, but it really helped our people say, hey, we're involved in the current crisis and we're helping in the current crisis. So another way, because right now nobody knows how to engage their volunteers, right? So I mean, what's an usher do right now? It's what's a parking lot attendant do? And so that really helped keep engaging our people to say I'm a part of something bigger.
Huge.
And then there was a third component that we felt like is what are the everyday needs? And so it was real simple for us. We just looked up Google Analytics. What are people Googling? And so people were Googling stuff like how to make dinner for my family, how to do workouts at my house, how to make slime with my kids. And so we just said these are some really simple everyday life needs. So we do a workout class.
Wow.
And it's the guy that's a strength coach at OU. So I mean he's got a lot of credibility, so that helps us. He does that 3 days a week in the mornings. We do a cooking class once a week, and then we have our kids team just doing stuff almost every day right now, content every day that people can get on YouTube. That's just some of it's just dumb. How to make slime, how to make a craft. Because parents, they're stuck at home with their kids, and so we're trying to figure out, how do we help them not just survive but thrive in a really difficult process? So that's a really long answer, but that's kind of our 3-step. How we said, what are the needs? Let's meet them. That's kind of our 3 components that we decided to meet needs.
You know what I love about Victory Family Church is that middle word family, because you guys embody that in everything you do, from the way you set things up to the way you engage with people. And so when you talked about the why, your purpose, it was so huge in navigating through this. That never changed. You intentionalized this whole idea of connecting with people and making sure they knew that you loved them. That's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, man, it's huge. I think something else we did is our staff. It's weird. We got I think 56 on staff right now. 15 of them may have some skill set in either graphic design or video or worship or the creative side of it. But then there's another, 35 or 40 that their job is drastically different. And so what they're doing is they're calling. We called everybody in the church the first week. Now we're texting everybody. And so we're still setting up meal trains, but that looks different. Somebody goes to the hospital. Now we're postmating meals to people's houses instead of bringing them, but still trying to keep that family vibe. And to be honest, even little things like after I still preach it live on a Sunday, a couple of times, but I think we're doing 5 or 6 now on Sunday video. But after every one of them, I'm still in the lobby on my personal Facebook doing a live. I just call it, this is just lobby time. I usually shake your hand in the lobby. I miss that. So just jump on and I'll just, we'll just talk. And so I just say hi to everybody and we talk. And that's also been really successful. So again, it's kind of like, what are the things that we feel like kind of our calling, our bread and butter? And let's just figure out a unique and different way to do that. And so that family part's been huge, and it's been a challenge trying to figure it out, but it's gone okay so far.
Well, you're doing it, and for everybody that's listening right now that may say, well, how can I connect with everybody? Listen, folks, this is Victory Family Church is a church of thousands of people. And dude, for you guys to be so organized to call everybody, to be texting everybody, so this is something any church can do. And I think that that's a really big part of making the dots connect in just what you're sharing right now.
Sure, and man, even I want to be a leader and team player. So even I'm calling. I started first week I called 50. Now I'm texting 25 people a week, and so yeah, everybody's
Wow.
doing their part. And maybe those that are watching this maybe they're bivocational. You got a bunch of board volunteers that would love nothing more than to connect with people, and so it doesn't have to be you, but somebody needs to be connecting with people for sure.
That's brilliant. So because this whole idea of you guys going after your ministry and the family dynamic, this is what I've loved watching on your video ministry. You guys, you just do it in all different crazy ways. Here's a question I've got for you. How perfect do you feel like you have to be in this whole new video-based ministry style of doing it?
So we did a pastor's game night last night. It was filmed from 3 different living rooms and videoed on Zoom. I didn't know they were going to do this. There's 3 other pastors. We have a pastor from Nigeria. He was dressed up in his Nigerian garb. We have a pastor from Prague that was all he literally had a cowboy hat. And we have a guy from Arkansas that plaid shirt with the sleeves cut up. I would say the less perfect it is, the more real it is. And I think, I'm going to say some stuff in a little bit that may be a little bit offensive, but I think inauthentic pastors in this season will potentially lose their church on the other side of it.
Boy, huge.
So I don't know that now something that you did say I think is important. People are going to really bored with the same thing. They're seeing the same stuff, and so what I would encourage somebody to do, all you need is an iPhone. iPhone cameras are fantastic, but all you need is an iPhone. But I would change up the setting. I would stand up sometimes, sit down sometimes. I'd go kitchen sometimes, living room. But you can, in Oklahoma, which I think most people watch this from Oklahoma, you can still go up to your church. But even though we can come, most people are at their house. And so even the stuff we do at the church, it still has a very homey feel. And so we want to change the dynamic a lot, but perfection is not the goal in any way. Authenticity and help people absolutely is.
Oh, dude. So, okay, 2 questions as we kind of wrap this up, and say whatever you want to as we conclude. But I want you to share a cool story about something that's happened that's really made you change your perspective or helped you shift in the way you're thinking about this whole season. And man, just whatever you want to say about the church moving forward, because obviously we're going to have to be thinking differently on the other side of this. What's your hope for the church, VFC? What's your hope for the church at large? Talk to us, man.
Sure. So first, I think cool stories. We've been averaging 48 salvations a Sunday prior to this in 2020. The first Sunday
Which
we
is
did
incredible.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm very proud of that. But the first Sunday we did church on video, I think that was the thing, because we're so lost people driven, and that was the thing I was terrified. Nobody gonna people ain't gonna get saved by clicking a button. They're not gonna, because we tell people either click the button on the church online platform, just click a button, basically to virtually raise a hand, or if you're on Facebook, I just say, can you just type out, I'm making this decision to follow Jesus, and so I'm like, anybody can do that. That first week we saw 58 people give their lives to Christ.
Whoa.
So just last month we've seen 250 people give their lives to Jesus.
Oh, come on, somebody. That's awesome.
Crazy to see how God is not limited, and even though my faith was a little bit limited, God is not limited by buildings or our technology, and so that's been the coolest thing. The other thing that's been cool is we've actually seen people that have attended for the first time online. They went through a get to know class online 2 weeks ago, and now they're volunteering in our online worship experiences, just connecting with people. So it's been cool to kind of see that and we've seen a lot of people that are in our community that do not attend church that have started attending online and been very faithful and consistent. So that's been cool. I think so. Talk about the future of the church and us even in general. I think we'll do a lot more on-demand stuff where people I think some of the things that we're doing, whether it's the cooking or the kids slime or the Bible study discipleship, I think there'll be a lot more of those options online where people can, they're at home. I want the church, and specifically in our community, our church, to be a place that people say, I need a good online workout. Man, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it at the house. I mean, instead of go buy one of those videos from one of the whatever famous Biggest Loser people, and why not just watch it from in our church, and know that I'm doing with people. If I want to teach my kids how to do an art craft type of deal, and I'm gonna find that at the church. So I think our on demand will be much higher. I do think people will be less regular at church. I think 20 years ago, the stats would say the average church. I mean, when me and you grew up, we went Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night. So I mean, we're going, what is that, 12 times a month. The average follower of Christ goes 1.8 times right now. I think that number is actually going to go down dramatically after this. As far as in-person attendance, I think people are saying, I don't need to come back early from the lake. I don't need to come back. I don't need my kid to miss a soccer game on Sunday. I can just watch online. So I think some of the stuff that I think it's good and bad. I think we're going to be able to keep people connected that aren't live. In a much
online church attendance is going to go up then.
Tremendously, yeah. But I think our in-person worship experiences. So I hope our church grows out of this. So I've told our staff I'd love to pick up 500 people out of this. But I think that our actual Sunday morning attendance might be the exact same, even though we've grown, because I think people will be less consistent. But I also think this is going to be. I think this will be the great, and this is a total opinion, and I'm an idiot. I don't know anything. This is a guess. I think this is going to be a great reshuffling of the deck for churches. I think if someone's thinking about leaving your church, this is now the great opportunity. There's never been an easier time to leave a church than it is right now. That's how you leave a church right now. I just scroll to the next one. They're all you get on Sunday morning. Right. So I think we've got to be very, very careful as leaders to make sure we're meeting people's needs, and we're our voice could be the loudest in the world right now. And I think in your own community, the people that maybe not the sold out, not your core people, but the kind of the fringe people, the people that are they just been there, dad went there, grandpa went there, they're just going there. If there's a voice in your community that's helping them through this crisis, that's giving them hope, that's giving them resources, they're going to go to that church. And not just leave churches. I think there's going to be a lot of people that don't attend church that are looking for something. So my opinion is churches will be much greater or much worse on the other side of this. I just don't think a lot of churches are going to be the same.
But dude, when you talk about authenticity, I mean, that's really the takeaway. I think we're just going to be more real than we've ever been because people have choices, but not only that, people have real needs. And our connecting the dots with that is going to be what's going to be the biggest challenge, I think, and the greatest opportunity.
For sure. And that's what this is. This is the great, and I'm only 38. Well, I mean, I've been doing ministry almost 20 years now. But so I'm not old. I know some guys in here can be twice as old as me. But in my lifetime, at least, this is the greatest opportunity in the history of the church. This is not an obstacle for us. This is a massive opportunity to reach people in our community, and right now to be the voice, because people need a voice, and they're not listening. And we get to create the narrative of our church right now. All the people that may, for us, they're big. They're a big church. They must be soft. He must be an easy preacher. They must this. They water down whatever. Those narratives aren't out there right now because nobody's talking to anybody. So they can get who we really are online. And so I do think this is the best opportunity for us to communicate who we are to our community via social media. But again, you can't try to be somebody else. Just be you and be authentically you. And the guys that are trying to put on a show, or even, it's just not. It's not gonna work.
Dude, this has been great. It's been incredibly encouraging. And when we think about the takeaways, man, just meeting people's needs, being real, being authentic, and getting out there where the people are, you guys are doing that. So I just encourage everybody out there to check out Victory Family Church online, see what they're doing, be encouraged by how they're pivoting and they have pivoted extremely well. Hey, this is a great talk, Adam. I appreciate you being on, man.
Yeah,
Great
thanks, Rob.
conversation.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you so much.
Hey, love you and Christy and your beautiful family, man. Straight ahead with it. Hey, this is the Leadership Conversation. Thanks for joining, and together let's grow, create, and invest.